Welcome. Today we're diving into the basics of Supplemental Security Income, or SSI. If you've ever wondered what SSI is, who can get it, and how it might help, you're in the right place. We'll break down the essentials, explain the main requirements, and guide you through the process step by step. Whether you're considering applying for yourself or helping a loved one, understanding SSI is the first step toward getting the support you need. Let's start by defining what SSI actually is and why it exists. SSI stands for Supplemental Security Income. It's a federal program in the United States designed to provide monthly payments to people who have limited income and resources. SSI is different from Social Security, retirement, or disability benefits, even though both are managed by the Social Security Administration. The main goal of SSI is to help people meet basic needs for food, clothing, and shelter when they don't have enough income from other sources. Next, let's look at who actually qualifies for SSI. The purpose of SSI is to ensure that people with limited income and resources can afford basic necessities. It's a safety net for those who are elderly, blind, or disabled, and who don't qualify for enough support from other programs. SSI helps fill the gap, making sure vulnerable individuals aren't left without the essentials. It's especially important for people who may not have worked enough to qualify for Social Security benefits. Now, let's explore the main eligibility criteria for SSI. SSI is administered by the Social Security Administration, often called the SSA. Even though it's managed by the same agency, SSI is funded differently from Social Security retirement or disability benefits. SSI payments come from general tax revenues, not from Social Security taxes. This distinction is important because it means eligibility for SSI isn't based on your work history. Instead, it's based on your current financial situation and specific personal circumstances. To qualify for SSI, you must meet certain requirements. The main factors are age, disability, status, income, and resources. Generally, you need to be age 65 or older, or be blind or disabled. In addition, you must have limited income and limited resources. U.S. citizenship or certain immigration statuses are also required. We'll break down each of these requirements in detail so you can see if you or someone you know might be eligible. One way to qualify for SSI is by age. If you are 65 years old or older, you may be eligible for SSI, even if you are not disabled or blind. This makes SSI an important support for many seniors who have little or no income. However, age alone isn't enough. You still need to meet the income and resource limits, as well as citizenship or immigration requirements. Next, let's look at the disability and blindness criteria. SSI is also available to people of any age who are disabled. To qualify, you must have a medically determinable physical or mental impairment that results in marked and severe functional limitations. For adults, the disability must prevent you from working and be expected to last at least 12 months or result in death. For children, the disability must cause severe limitations in daily activities. The Social Security Administration reviews medical evidence to determine if you meet these standards. Blindness is another way to qualify for SSI. The Social Security Administration defines blindness as having vision no better than 20/200 inches, your better eye with corrective lenses, or a limited field of vision. Like the disability requirement, blindness must be medically proven. People who are blind do not have to meet the same strict work limitations as those qualifying under the disability category, but they still must meet the income and resource limits. To qualify for SSI, your income must be below a certain level. Income includes money you earn from work, Social Security benefits, pensions, and even some types of non-cash support like free food or shelter. Not all income counts, though some is excluded when calculating your eligibility. The exact income limits can change each year, so it's important to check the latest guidelines. Next, we'll talk about what counts as resources for SSI. Resources are things you own, like cash, bank accounts, stocks, and property. To qualify for SSI, your total countable resources must be below a set limit, currently $2,000 for an individual or $3,000 for a couple. Some resources, like your primary home and one vehicle, are not counted. The Social Security Administration reviews your resources carefully, so it's important to understand what is and isn't included. Let's look at citizenship and residency requirements next. To receive SSI, you must be a U.S. citizen or meet specific non-citizen requirements. Some lawful permanent residents and certain other groups may qualify. You also need to live in the United States or the Northern Mariana Islands. Generally, you cannot receive SSI if you are outside the country for more than 30 consecutive days. These rules help ensure that SSI supports people living in the U.S. who need it most. Children under 18 can also qualify for SSI if they are blind or disabled and live in households with limited income and resources. The Social Security Administration uses different rules to evaluate children's disabilities, focusing on how the condition affects their daily activities. Family income and resources are considered when determining eligibility. SSI can provide vital support for families caring for children with significant health challenges. Adults aged 18 and older may qualify for SSI if they meet the disability or blindness requirements, or if they are 65 or older. For adults, the Social Security Administration looks at both medical evidence and financial information to determine eligibility. If you're an adult with limited income and resources, SSI can help cover basic living expenses and provide a measure of financial stability. Where you live can affect your SSI eligibility and payment amount. For example, if you live in someone else's household and receive free food or shelter, your SSI payment may be reduced. If you live in a medical facility where Medicaid pays for more than half your care, your SSI payment may be much lower. The Social Security Administration considers your living situation when calculating your benefit. Receiving SSI can affect your eligibility for other government programs and vice versa. For example, SSI recipients often qualify for Medicaid, which helps with medical costs. Some states provide additional payments to SSI recipients. However, getting other benefits, like Social Security or unemployment, can reduce your SSI payment. It's important to report all income and benefits to the Social Security Administration to avoid overpayments or penalties. Applying for SSI involves several steps. You can start your application online, by phone, or in person at a Social Security office. You'll need to provide information about your income, resources, living arrangements, and medical condition if applying due to disability or blindness. The Social Security Administration will review your application and may request additional documents or medical records. The process can take several months, so it's important to apply as soon as you think you might qualify. When applying for SSI, you'll need to gather several documents. These may include proof of age, like a birth certificate, Social Security number, proof of income and resources, such as bank statements and pay stubs, and medical records if applying for disability or blindness. Having these documents ready can help speed up the application process and reduce delays. The Social Security Administration may also ask for additional information as your application is reviewed. If you're applying for SSI based on disability or blindness, medical evidence is crucial. This includes doctor's reports, test results, hospital records, and statements from healthcare providers about your condition and how it limits your daily activities. The Social Security Administration uses this information to decide if you meet their definition of disability or blindness. Make sure to provide as much detail as possible to support your claim. SSI payments are based on the federal benefit rate, which is adjusted each year. Your payment may be reduced if you have other income or receive free food or shelter. The Social Security Administration subtracts countable income from the federal benefit rate to determine your monthly SSI payment. Some states add extra money to the federal payment. Understanding how your payment is calculated can help you plan your finances. Once you start receiving SSI, it's important to report any changes in your income, resources, living arrangements, or medical condition to the Social Security Administration right away. Failing to report changes can lead to overpayments, penalties, or even loss of benefits. You can report changes online, by phone, or in person. Keeping your information up to date helps ensure you receive the correct payment each month. If your SSI application is denied, you have the right to appeal the decision. The appeals process includes several steps: reconsideration, hearing by an administrative law judge, review by the Appeals Council, and, if needed, a federal court review. It's important to act quickly. There are strict deadlines for filing appeals. Gathering additional evidence and working with an advocate can improve your chances of success. SSI includes special rules called work incentives that help people with disabilities work and still receive benefits. For example, some income from work may not count against your SSI payment, and you may be able to save money in certain accounts without affecting eligibility. These incentives encourage people to try working without losing vital support. The Social Security Administration can provide more information about these programs. Some SSI recipients may need help managing their benefits. In these cases, the Social Security Administration can appoint a representative payee, someone who receives and manages SSI payments on behalf of the recipient. This is common for children or adults with severe disabilities. The representative payee must use the money for the recipient's needs and keep records of how it's spent. Getting married can affect your SSI eligibility and payment amount. If both spouses receive SSI, the payment is lower for couples than for two individuals. If only one spouse receives SSI, the other spouse's income and resources are considered when determining eligibility and payment. It's important to report any changes in marital status to the Social Security Administration to ensure your benefits are calculated correctly. When a child receiving SSI turns 18, the Social Security Administration reviews their eligibility using adult disability rules. Family income and resources are no longer considered only the individual's. Some young adults may lose eligibility, while others may continue to qualify. It's important to prepare for this transition and provide updated medical and financial information to the SSA. People experiencing homelessness can still qualify for SSI if they meet the other eligibility requirements. The Social Security Administration does not require a permanent address to apply for or receive benefits. SSI can be a crucial source of support for individuals without stable housing, helping them afford basic necessities and work toward greater stability. If you enter a hospital, nursing home, or other institution, your SSI payment may be reduced or suspended, especially if Medicaid pays for most of your care. However, short stays usually don't affect your eligibility. It's important to notify the Social Security Administration if you are admitted to or discharged from an institution so your benefits can be adjusted as needed. Sometimes, SSI recipients receive more money than they're eligible for. This is called an overpayment. Overpayments can happen if you don't report changes in income, resources, or living arrangements promptly. If you receive an overpayment, the Social Security Administration will ask you to repay the extra amount. You can appeal the decision or request a waiver if repaying would cause hardship. Some states add extra money to the federal SSI payment. This is called a state supplement. The amount and eligibility rules for state supplements vary by state. In some places, the state manages the supplement, while in others, the Social Security Administration handles it. State supplements can help increase your total monthly benefit, so it's worth checking what's available where you live. Most people who qualify for SSI also qualify for Medicaid, which helps cover medical expenses like doctor visits, hospital stays, and prescriptions. In many states, getting SSI automatically enrolls you in Medicaid. In others, you may need to apply separately. Medicaid is a valuable benefit that can make a big difference in your overall well-being. SSI recipients may also qualify for food assistance programs like SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. In some states, getting SSI makes you automatically eligible for SNAP, while in others, you must apply separately. Food assistance can help stretch your budget and ensure you have enough to eat each month. While SSI itself does not provide housing, receiving SSI can help you qualify for housing assistance programs. Many public housing authorities and rental assistance programs consider SSI recipients as having a qualifying need. This can make it easier to access affordable housing and avoid homelessness. SSI recipients, especially children and young adults, may be eligible for special education services and supports. Schools are required to provide appropriate accommodations for students with disabilities. In some cases, SSI recipients can also access vocational training or job placement programs to help them prepare for future employment. ABLE accounts are special savings accounts for people with disabilities. Money saved in an ABLE account does not count against SSI resource limits up to a certain amount. This allows people with disabilities to save for future expenses without losing their SSI benefits. ABLE accounts can be used for education, housing, transportation, and more. Special needs trusts are another way for people with disabilities to save money without affecting SSI eligibility. Money in a properly structured trust is not counted as a resource for SSI purposes. These trusts can pay for things that SSI doesn't cover, like personal care, recreation, or certain medical expenses. Setting up a trust usually requires legal help. Not all non-citizens can get SSI, but some groups are eligible. Lawful permanent residents, refugees, asylees, and certain other immigrants may qualify if they meet specific criteria. The rules are complex and depend on your immigration status and how long you've lived in the U.S. If you're not sure, the Social Security Administration can help determine your eligibility. People who are in jail or prison for a felony generally cannot receive SSI during their incarceration. However, benefits may be reinstated after release if you still meet the eligibility requirements. Having a criminal record does not automatically disqualify you from SSI, but you must not be confined to a public institution. Generally, you cannot receive SSI if you are outside the United States for more than 30 consecutive days. There are a few exceptions, such as for children of military personnel stationed overseas. If you plan to travel or move abroad, it's important to notify the Social Security Administration and understand how it may affect your benefits. Most SSI payments are made by direct deposit to your bank account. This is the safest and fastest way to receive your money each month. If you don't have a bank account, you can receive payments on a prepaid debit card. The Social Security Administration can help you set up direct deposit or choose another payment method that works for you. SSI payments are not taxable income. You do not need to report SSI on your federal tax return. However, if you receive other types of income, you may still need to file taxes. It's always a good idea to keep records of your benefits and consult a tax professional if you have questions about your specific situation. The Social Security Administration regularly reviews SSI cases to make sure recipients still qualify. These reviews may look at your income, resources, living arrangements, and medical condition. If your situation changes, your benefits may increase, decrease, or stop. It's important to respond to review requests promptly and provide any requested information. SSI is an individual benefit, but family circumstances can affect eligibility and payment amounts. For example, a spouse's income and resources are considered for married recipients, and parents' income and resources are considered for children. Understanding how family situations impact SSI can help you plan and avoid surprises. If you receive SSI, careful financial planning is important. Because of strict income and resource limits, you need to be mindful about savings, gifts, and other sources of support. Tools like ABLE accounts and special needs trusts can help you save for the future without losing benefits. Consulting with a financial advisor who understands SSI rules can be very helpful. To sum up, SSI is a federal program that provides monthly payments to people with limited income and resources who are elderly, blind, or disabled. Eligibility depends on your age, disability status, income, resources, and citizenship or immigration status. SSI can help cover basic needs and may connect you to other benefits like Medicaid and food assistance. Understanding the rules and staying informed can help you make the most of this important program. If you have questions about SSI or need help applying, the Social Security Administration is your best resource. You can visit their website, call their toll-free number, or go to a local office for assistance. Many community organizations also offer help with SSI applications and appeals. Don't hesitate to reach out. Getting the right information and support can make a big difference in your SSI journey.